JSAClix podcast, the show where we discuss high-level competitive, casual, and everything in between. Your host is Jay Solomon, and now, on to the show. Hey everybody, this is Jay. I'm just jumping in here quickly just to note that when we recorded this, we weren't sure that we were doing. We were splitting up the commons and uncommons, but I'm just throwing this little voiceover in here just to note that and to note that the intro is going to sound different. Hi everybody, this is the second episode of the JSAClix podcast, the podcast where we discuss the competitive Heroclix environment, as well as any alternate formats that are currently relevant, as well as the occasional casual episode. I'm your host, Jay Solomon, and today I'll be joined by my co-hosts. They include Adam Friedman, current reigning Rock US National Champion from the online event. We have Chad Birdsall, most well known as a Rock judge, including at that event and the other Rock online national event. And we have Devin Owens, the current reigning Canadian Heroclix National Champion. This episode is going to be the uncommon section of our full comprehensive sealed review of Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage. I also want to take a quick second to note that our Patreon is already up, and hopefully this episode will be initially listened to by patrons that will be getting it a little earlier in advance than the public. But we greatly appreciate any and all support that we get, including listening to our podcasts and watching our videos, and even posting on our Facebook group. Thank you so much. Okay, we're into the uncommons. We have Miles Morales Spider-Man. We have the 4-range Spider-Man team ability and Ultimate's team ability, which, as a reminder, is improved movement and targeting hindering, as well as improved movement elevated. He also can maybe start with the Dimensional Travel Watch if you have access to it. Special movement power that he starts with, plasticity, sidestep stealth. Special attack power he starts off with Precision Strike when Spider-Man is given a move action, so a proper move action, not just any movement, and moves 5 squares or less. After resolutions, he can use Incapacitate as range at no cost and may use it to target all opposing characters within range and line of fire. Adam?
Great and sealed. Anything else to say?
Really interesting to have the move and attack thing on the attack power instead of the movement power.
Fair enough. Demo Goblin, who has a secret identity dial for a couple characters, can start with the Pumpkin Bombs object equipped, which he also does not come with. It gives Energy Explosion with minimum range of 4, knockback, but only during range attacks. And then this character can be given range destroy actions regardless of their damage value. So don't need a 3. Potentially interesting. I think it comes with Green Goblin, who I think is more likely to be played in this set. He has a special attack power that he starts off on both the regular and secret identities. Precision Strike, free, choose one. Improved targeting that will destroy a piece of blocking. Improved targeting characters. Improved targeting elevated. Or improved targeting hindering. He uses it this turn. That is Devin?
He seems great. In sealed, at least. He has one of the higher ranges in the set, lots of improved targeting, which is super relevant. He's very, very good. And they made a Jason McIndale secret identity?
Yes, they did.
Amazing.
Would
not have expected that one.
Depending on how easy it is to get him themed onto something that can get you map more often, this could be the best piece in sealed, potentially. If you can get, I guess Promenade's gone, but Trenches or some map like that as the map that's picked. And you're just taking improved elevated all the time. This piece is probably unstoppable unless there's some except against hypersonic and maybe the full leap climb dude.
I think only Trash Can Spider-Man is hypersonic, near as I can remember.
Yeah, there's not much.
Improved elevated shots and some barrier or something. Sounds.
How many points is he?
Disgusting.
Yeah, for 60 points, that's pretty reasonable.
He's good.
Okay, we have Prowler, who was the secret identity, I believe, just for Aaron Davis. Signature Syndicate team ability, 4 range. Is this the first Indom in the set? I think maybe the Venoms had it. Keywords are Magia.
No, there's a couple others.
Magia, Martial Artist, Signature Syndicate, improved movement, elevated hindering. Special speed power that he starts off on both Secret Identity and regular dials. Sidestep stealth, free if Prowler occupies hindering terrain. Place him in hindering terrain within 4 squares in line of fire. Special attack power that he starts off in both times. Quake, when Prowler uses it after resolutions, give a hit character an action token, and we go to Chad.
Yes, please. Both dials sealed. Possibly if you do end up taking Aaron as your main force in a normal meta game where you're building constructed, then yes, of course you're gonna have him on the sideline. But sealed, just play him. Period.
I don't think he's
Keywords.
that good.
His keywords are funky. If he had better keywords, I would agree.
There's a lot of Sinister Syndicate.
Yeah, but it's not Spider-Man ally.
I mean, you're also
His
not
stats
going to
aren't
have
very
every
good.
chase in the sealed, right? So
If you have somebody with a high attack value to give him from Sinister Syndicate, then he gets significantly better.
Yeah, the 10 attack definitely feels bad.
His movement to me is just fantastic to begin with.
Yeah, I mean the movement is usually pretty good. It depends on the map a little bit, but
Just like I don't
it's
care
going to be
nearly as much about his damage as giving everybody a token every time I quake, basically.
Right, but the problem is you got to hit him, which means he needs good attack values, which is my problem with him. I just don't think 10 attack's very high in this set. There's a bunch of reflexes even at 16 means that you're needing 8s.
Right, but even then, you're not going to put him on your team first. If you have Perplex, then yeah. If you have Prob, then sure. But yeah, this is not the first string piece in any case, right? So I don't think Chad was saying that either. It's obviously not, oh my god, I pulled Prowler, I got to play him. But
it's 40 points. Like, he's gonna fit a lot of places. Once again, extremely low point value set to begin with. Your chance of a theme team, not tremendously high. Your chance of other Sinister Syndicate, reasonably high. I don't think there's any way that you're probably not going to play him.
We'll agree to disagree.
Oh, that's about as good as you're going to get from Adam. We have American Sun, who is the secret identity for Harry. 6 range dual targets, 65 points. Trait, the first time American Sun would KO an opposing character of 25 or more points. You may instead turn them to the last non-KO click. If you do, this game, American Sun can use Perplex and modifies his combat values +1. If you don't, deal American Sun 1 unavoidable damage, and this game he can use Outwit and deals penetrating damage. His regular dial starts off with a special defense power of energy shield deflection and invulnerability. This is mine. I don't think you're not playing Harry and Constructed, so that's just a no. For sealed, maybe. This is not a constructed dial, so this is like sealed consideration. Otherwise, no.
This won't even be that good in sealed, mainly because so much of the stuff at common is really good at tying up pieces in close.
The range factor matters a lot, I think.
6 compared to 4, I don't think is actually that big of a deal, even with the running shot, especially with all the plasticity around to mess up your movement to get good angles. I think you're going to find that this piece ends up being a trap more often than you expect, where you play it and your opponent has like just the stupid Carnage minion. They tie him up with the Carnage minion and he looks really bad. Like he's just stuck there not doing anything.
I just hate the character.
Okay.
ESD is the wrong defense power on the side. If he had reflexes and vulnerability, I think it might be different.
Also, 10 attack for those points is like,
very suspicious.
Yeah, if you have some perplexes and stuff, he'll probably be fine. But
if he just had the perplex instead of needing to kill something to get it, it'd be a whole different story.
That's
fair. Okay, Deathlock is 6 range, 60 points. Doesn't have Spider-Man family, but he has Team Player, which does entirely different things. Just kidding. It's also wild card. He has Future, Robot, Soldier keywords. 1 trait, no special powers. Leadership. When Deathlock uses it and succeeds, give him a freedom token. If Deathlock has 2 or less freedom tokens, characters take a maximum of 1 attack or 1 damage from Deathlock's attacks. Protected Outwit for the leadership. Okay. This is an Adam.
This piece seems great in sealed. It's the only leadership so far, and it's at the lowest rarity we've seen so far. His values are just straight up good all across. I think you're going to be able to get those 2 leaderships to get him, because it's 2 or
3.
fewer if you need to get to 3. I think you'll get that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to take that long. And so I think he ends up getting the full value out of those damages pretty quick.
I need you to roll my dice.
Yeah, with the pacing in the set, I can
In
definitely
sealed,
see it.
I mean, I see this reasonably coming to full damage on like turn 5. And even if he's at the end of the dial, his damage values are still really high. So I think he's fine.
Constructed,
Yeah.
it looks really silly compared to Danger Rooms, though.
Yeah, I can see Deathlock like absolutely screwing you over from variants a couple of times, but I can also see him being great sometimes.
I mean, leadership at uncommon in a set that hasn't had it so far is going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, if you are playing a ton of really low point figures, then just the leadership, even if he isn't really doing damage, is going to be worth it.
So I like the leadership. At the same time, it's 60 points for leadership in a set that has a crap ton of autonomous. So I'm not that impressed with it.
I think
Yeah,
the
that's
autonomous is
also
going to make
fair
it that much more important because if you happen to be shy on those, you can't afford to be at 3 actions against a team with 2 or 3 autonomous pieces. So you actually just need the leadership that much more if you don't happen to have the autonomous yourself. So I think it could end up being at a premium.
Okay, Steel Serpent is Hydra team ability, 60 points. Hydra, Kunlun, Martial Artist, and Mystical keywords. Movement characters. Trait. Once per turn, when an adjacent friendly character is damaged by an opponent's attack, give Steel Serpent a Chi token. And then he has free. Remove any number of Chi tokens to make that many attacks against different targets. Maximum damage value 3. Starts with a special damage power, Empower, and Leadership. Devin.
His Chi tokens are like ridiculously harder to put on him than Iron Fist. Interestingly, they did use the is damaged by an opponent's attack wording here, where they didn't on Venom, which kind of implies to me that like pushing a character who's making an attack with Venom beside it gets you a
or it could
token.
be it was recorded wrong, right? It could just be someone transcribed it wrong into HC realms.
It's possible.
With the main guy doing it, it's very unlikely. He takes it very seriously, making sure that it's correct, but it's definitely plausible. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Anyway,
it seems like definitely an
leadership
upgrade
again.
over Deathlock. Yeah, definitely seems like an upgrade over Deathlock for leadership. I'll give him that.
Hydra team ability is pretty good.
I don't know
Not sure about it in this set. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it depends whether anybody on your team actually has any range. But like you can wildcard it a bunch potentially. If you have range, that could be great. We'll see. I think he's probably pretty good.
You could be at the very least throwing light objects, right? So, or if you have super strength, you could be throwing heavies. So it's not nothing. I just don't think you're actually playing him. I don't know. He seems like second tier for sealed.
So with the amount of just close combat in this set, the fact that he has Empower and Leadership, you have to be next to him for Empower anyway. You might as well be taking off tokens if it's possible. He's 60 points, which is also higher points than a lot of this set.
Yeah, and honestly, he's going to get Chi tokens at least a couple of times per game, it seems like.
So once again, if Adam is willing to spend 60 points on Deathlock,
I think this
Yeah.
is an upgrade. I think he's definitely better than Deathlock, but I think Deathlock's fine.
Okay, we have another leadership in this right in a row. Hammerhead, Sinister Syndicate, team ability, 70 points. Keywords are Brute, Enforcers, Magia, Sinister Syndicate. He has improved movement, moves through and destroys blocking. He has a type of trait that is reasonably common in the set. Yet another Sinister 6. These traits generally give adjacent friendly characters with Sinister Syndicate stuff, and in this case, it is when they begin a move, they can use improved movement that you can destroy blocking and move through it during that move. So that would include sidestep and stuff. Traded charge, when he uses it, modified damage +1. Starts with a special attack power, range of 5 and 2 targets. He also has a second dial, which does not have the range, but this is Chad.
if I have another Sinister Syndicate that has a higher attack, I think I play him with it no matter what. But other than that, like sidestep charge, yeah, that's great. I'm probably not playing him lower dial because I really like the invulnerable in this set.
Also the leadership, you know.
Yeah, leadership again, good, but it literally depends on my other pulls. Obviously constructed, no way.
I'll disagree with you on 30 points at constructed if you need that to work with. He can give vulture improvement blocking, right? So because they share both of Vulture's keywords. I was gonna say also, like, Ancient Hold Strats and Sealed seems like the worst. So
Yeah.
I think
That
you
Vulture,
added too many words to that sentence.
that Vulture isn't Sinister Syndicate.
no, he's Magia and Brute.
Right, but you have to have Sinister Syndicate to get the improved.
Oh, you're right. I'm a moron. Yeah, I forgot about that part.
I feel like if you have other things on your team that can abuse what this Hammerhead does by either giving him extra attacks so that his range of 5 is great, or can really use the improved movement blocking to do some really interesting things, then he's probably good. But just by himself, I mean, he has leadership, so maybe.
Yeah, it literally depends on if you pull other Sinister Syndicates good.
And at 30, he's totally reasonable filler.
There's also like autonomous with it, so you can be like autonomously destroying a bunch of blocking or whatever. It's that's about as much as you can ask for
Are
in
there
Sealed.
autonomous characters with Sinister Syndicate keyword?
I assume Norman.
I think Aaron Davis and maybe others, maybe Norman. I don't know. There should be at least one or two. I can't quite
Norman
remember.
does.
Davis. I don't think any.
Jason McIndale.
Okay, yeah, there's a few.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Yeah, it just really depends on your pulls. Okay, Bombshell, 6 range, Sinister Syndicate, team ability, 60 points, only the Sinister Syndicate keyword. This is yet another Sinister 6. Adjacent friendly characters with Sinister Syndicate get modified range +2, which seems pretty good. And then traded the same trait as the other Bombshell, Force Blast. If Bombshell is within 3 squares of that other specific Bombshell, she can use Pulse Wave and has protected Pulse Wave in all caps. Special speed power, the same exact one. So the running shot knocks back 1+ characters, move to X squares, where X is the highest number of squares a character was knocked back during that action. Otherwise, she has so the running shot to start, energy explosion, perplex. I think it's within reasonable reason. Like, I feel like that's just a generally true thing. Range is just good. Perplex is good. Carrying is good. She can lend out 11 attack with Sinister Syndicate. Can be a 12 if you use the Perplex that way. If you have the other Bombshell, you don't share keywords. No, I think you might share Syndicate. I can't remember, but I don't know. Seems reasonable.
That they do. That'd be weird if they didn't.
They both have
Yeah.
Sinister Syndicate.
Okay. So
Yeah. My problem with both of the Bombshells is that they look really easy to kill. They just have like no defenses at all. I mean, I guess they have 18 defense if they perplex their defense up, but 17.
Wait, is this
willpower
literally
by
the other?
default
Is this
is-
literally the daughter dial, but with one extra click at the front?
Yes.
Oh, I guess
Yeah,
the
it is.
last two clicks are a little different. Okay.
Okay.
If you happen to pull 2 of these to get them both to 8 range,
And
But
the daughter,
otherwise-
there we go.
but otherwise it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. Maybe if I have some good Sinister Syndicate that needs some 11s.
if you have 8
And
range,
to be fair,
that's
we have
like
seen
12.
a couple of 10 attack Sinister Syndicate pieces that we've been like, if you just have a Sinister Syndicate with a higher attack value, so that definitely could be relevant.
Yeah, the 11 is definitely good. I'm holding out for a better 11 or maybe a 12.
Yeah.
If you give somebody an 8 range in this set, that's like the equivalent of like 13 in any other set. So
It does seem like it.
okay, Norman Osborn. He has the Sinister Syndicate team ability, 40 points, 4 range. He has, I think, every keyword: Cabal, Codex, Dark Avengers, Hammer, Politician, Power Elite, Ruler, Sinister Syndicate, and Thunderbolts. Secret Identity, he can turn into Green Goblin, who we haven't seen yet, Iron Patriot, who we haven't seen yet, and Red Goblin. Trait, I'm the one in charge. Opposing characters within 4 squares can't use Mastermind. So there's a couple of these, like opposing characters within 4 can't use X. Starts with a special damage power, leadership outwit. This is an Atom.
I mean, this is the leadership piece I've been looking for all set so far. At Uncommon. I mean, geez. So he's already autonomous himself. He's got outwit. He has a range value, and if it's sort of low. I don't know if the Mastermind really matters. The no Mastermind matters. Like, this piece is just great and sealed.
Does the no
And it-
Mastermind even matter in Modern? How much Mastermind is there right now?
Batman has it.
Yeah. that's
Jason?
true.
Jason gets it later, so it essentially.
Jason's the only one I've seen used in recent memory.
Witch Queen, but nobody plays Witch Queen except for me, and even I'm not playing her right now.
Which queen is that?
Has Mastermind.
Also, well, hold on. Is Adam? Adam, are you also going to this blind?
Oh, I'm totally going to this for the most part. I mean, I've been through it a couple times, but
Oh, okay, sure.
Also, the really important thing about this Norman Osborn for me is that he immediately replaces the old Norman Osborn that didn't actually have Thunderbolts on all of my Thunderbolts teams.
That's
Finally, we
cute.
actually have a 40-point Thunderbolts keyworded Norman Osborn, because the other one only had Dark Avengers for some reason.
And they didn't forget to give him leadership for Sentry.
Anyway, yeah, leadership, stop click, outwit, awesome. He's great.
Yeah, secret entities are decent.
I'm still keeping Sinister Syndicate President Osborn, so I gotta throw that out there.
Yeah.
You would play President Osborn over this guy?
I love me a President Osborn, okay? Stop judging me.
I don't think I ever would, but I mean, President Osborn's fun, but 10 more points and doesn't have a stop click.
Stop judging me.
As a sick joke, the next character in the set is a Gwen Stacy. She is Spider-Man team ability, because everybody in this set is 25 points. She has Celebrity Spider-Man Family. I guess she's a celebrity because of the Mary Jane's band. Okay. Secret Identity.
Also, well, she's actually publicly Ghost Spider in that universe.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't have a secret identity, so it is a reasonable keyword there.
Okay, whatever. She has Autonomous, Ghost Spider, Secret Identity, which we haven't gone to yet. She has one of those opposing characters within 4 can't use super senses. That is Devin.
Opposing
this
characters
set,
within
yeah.
4 can't use super senses in this set? That's awesome. And just 25-point autonomous charge exploit with your own super senses, wild card, potentially. I mean, you're probably playing Ghost Spider on your main force if you pull her, but still has the secret identity. I think she's very good in sealed and maybe has some construct. Maybe not.
She feels so borderline for constructed to me.
I think she has a home because like if you're planning for the Spider Fam mirror,
Yeah, it's
like
true.
she's on theme for your Spider Fam, and then she takes away their super senses.
Yeah,
Is
that's
she a
good
cheap
point.
autonomous
Consideration.
piece that can transform into something else? Yes. Then, again, she can fit on a team. Her sculpt,
Yeah, with
however,
every
should have been a
keyword-
crumpled body.
No. This is alternate universe Gwen Stacy. The only
No.
one who's alive.
The only Gwen Stacy that I'll take is literally crumpled body on a base.
Okay. Flash Thompson. Secret Identity, Autonomous, 4 range, 35 points. A lot of keywords. Avengers Codex, Guardians of the Galaxy, S.H.I.E.L.D., Soldier, Spider-Man Family. Secret Identities for Agent Venom and Ancient Anti-Venom. Haven't seen those yet. Symbiote plus SC Shape Change trait. He shuts down Shape Change within 4.
Sealed, yeah, I'm playing him. Just to shut down shape change.
Shutting down shape change within 4 has historically been extremely relevant in Modern. I'm not sure it is currently. It might be if
we have like
Bird
3.
Swarms start
We have
getting
Remaker
played.
now, Symbiote.
Yeah.
Like
It
Jason
definitely-
starts with it.
I think he's one of the weaker secret identities that we've seen so far.
Not
If he was a
sealed.
cheaper secret
Sealed.
identity like some of the other ones, then yeah, I could see him having a place definitely. But at 35 points, he's just kind of
not
a
in
maybe.
Not in Sealed Adam. He's obviously good.
Yeah, sealed.
I don't know.
wonderful.
I think he just does
He's
a lot.
not as good as like a lot of the common ones still, but
I mean, plasticity shape change with close combat expert. I can put him right in there with you and then just punch you to death.
Yeah.
It's not terrible for me, so I'm not.
definitely
And poison. Don't forget
And
poison.
poison, yeah, and poison.
poison is good. There is not that many reducers, it seems like, in this set.
It's one of the
Shocking
secret
for a
identities.
Spider-Man set.
Like he has really good things to turn into, and also he's one of the secret identities that they want to have to deal with because he's tying them up. He's doing all the stuff. So it's either they deal with him as is, or they turn him into something differently good. I think
He definitely gets much better if you actually have one of the secret identity figures.
Yeah, at this point, I think.
Which
he can
the way
shove
that
it.
boosters work, more than likely you probably got a secret
Oh
identity.
yeah, I
with them.
forgot. That is something that people have been saying about the collation in this set, right? That
Correct. So
frequently
in
boosters have
a
both.
booster itself, if you pull a secret identity, you're getting the correlating figure basically. So if you pull a Flash, you're getting either Agent Venom or Agent Anti-Venom. The only difference is if you pull like Flash and Gwen, you're getting one of them. You're not getting both of them.
Well, that's extremely relevant for evaluating how good these are in sealed. If you're almost always getting their secret identity, then they definitely get better.
Yeah, you're always getting one of the secret identities that goes with them what you pulled.
Interesting.
So you get to pull Mary Jane and one of her other ones? That's stupid.
Yeah, you incredibly do.
Okay, is it Jason Massendale or Mackendale? I don't care. He has 6 range, which is in this set is like 50. Synergy Syndicate team ability, 25 points. Secret entities for Demo Goblin. We saw Hobgoblin and Jack-O-Lantern. He has the shuts down within 4 for Mystics. Autonomous, special power through the whole dial, sidestep stealth. This is my dial. Honestly, his threat range is just really notable in the set. He can be 11-3, lends out 11s. He could be 13-1 if you really need to hit, or 12-2. Like, I think this is constructed. I think he gets about as much consideration for constructed as anything else. But for sealed, I actually think he's pretty respectable.
And he shuts down the Mystics on Spirit Spider, right?
Ooh.
Is that the only Mystic?
See, but having Soldier means 76 makes him Spider-Man family, so he's actually a step
There we
above
go.
many of the others.
Venom, Doctor Strange. I'm sorry, there are 2 Mystics. Venom, Doctor Strange, and Spirit Spider.
Yeah, I mean, my only problem with him in sealed is that you're not playing his secret identities on your main force. If you're playing that instead.
I don't know. It really depends. If you want to fill in for those points, and yeah.
But
I mean,
honestly,
if opening him
like,
means you're opening a Demo Goblin, I think you're just pretty happy.
yeah, but you're probably putting the Goblin on your main force.
Yeah, so what?
But you might honestly do both.
Yeah, because
Like,
you
if
probably
you
are
have
going to need 25
25
points.
And
Yeah.
he's a 25-point 11 attack for your
Right,
Sinister
with
Syndicate
Sinister
team,
Syndicate, yeah.
Yeah,
which is pretty great.
which is probably better than a bombshell.
Oh,
Yeah,
no question.
probably a little.
At some point in sealed, there is going to be an attack that you need to get to finish something off for 1 damage, because that's what the set is like. You're gonna have a 13. Like, that is just a thing that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So,
And then they're going to shape change and you're going to start cursing.
but they wanted Mystics. Okay, so non-prime Riot has
Did you just completely skip Daniel
You
Burkhardt?
skipped
He
one.
did.
Oh,
He
did I? Oh, sorry.
He's
I didn't
good,
mean to.
so...
Oh
Like
no,
he doesn't
actually
even matter
is.
to you?
And who
It
is-
was an accident. Shut up. Okay, Daniel Beckert has Sinister Syndicate team ability.
Can't even pronounce the last
Scientist.
name right.
Burkhardt.
Burkhardt?
Burkhardt. Oh, nobody cares what name is on the character. Okay, that's not true. Daniel Burkhardt. Is that okay? Can I go on with my life now?
No.
25 points. Sinister Syndicate. Autonomous. Secret identities for Jack-O-Lantern and Mysterio. He has that same within 4 trait for stealth. Very simple dial. He always has stealth. He always has smoke cloud. He always has perplex. Devin.
Getting rid of stealth is great. Always has been. Always will be. There has been a lot of stealth in this set. In particular, perplex is good. Autonomous smoke cloud can definitely be useful. Seems good to me.
Scientist. He's constructed playable.
Ooh.
In theory.
With
Yeah,
Leonardo,
25
with
point
Leo the
scientist
Venom?
keyword.
No,
stock
like just on the actual scientist team is a theme.
It was a
that's been
joke.
played.
Yeah, like, it's technically costed action spell cloud, but it may as well not be, right? So, like, stealth perplex is reasonable. Theme probs is good. Like, if he's on a theme team, or at least he's on a name theme team, he's fine. Like, it's hard to complain. So I'm gonna actually move on to Riot, who is the non-prime Riot. 65 points. Actually has a range value of 3. Codex monster, improved movement, elevated hindering. Symbiote trait, another trait, super strength. When Riot knocks back a character after resolutions, deal 1 damage to that character and all opposing characters adjacent to them. This is Chad.
Completely reasonable sealed for me. Probably not playing it constructed for any reason. Very upset that, again, they made him unknown for literally no reason.
They didn't know. I told you.
They do know, though.
Is this the same person as Toxin?
No,
Well-
this is Trevor Cole.
Okay. I know
Oh,
nothing
wait.
about symbiotes in general.
So you're saying that you're upset about this enough to start a riot?
But the only thing that I can gonna go with is that, like, separation anxiety and absolute carnage was completely different than the original. So if they're saying that this is the new Riot that kind of just took over a family and turned them into monsters, then okay, whatever.
for the when knocks back, remind me, if you knock somebody back and there's a character directly behind them so they don't actually move, does this damage apply?
Good question. Maybe Adam knows.
I would assume yes.
I would assume yes as well.
Yeah,
That
sounds
was
right.
my assumption, but I wasn't 100% confident.
Yeah, it doesn't say like when they're like placed or whatever. So
Even the knockback sequence, like you have to actually try to place them before you can stop the sequence.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Okay, we have other Riot. He has also improved movement, elevated hindering, 50 points. Codex, maximum carnage monster, so elevated hindering for movement. Maximum carnage trait that we went over before, but I'll go over it again. Once per turn, when Riot hits, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to up to 2 opposing characters that weren't hit but are adjacent to a hit character. Symbiote Codex Hunter, which is plasticity shape change, as well as when Riot KOs an opposing character. After resolutions, heal 1 click. If that character had the Codex keyword, heal 3 clicks instead. Attack power that has the first half of the dial is Quake, Giant Reach 2. When Riot uses Quake in hits, after resolutions, deal each hit character an action token. Like, if I open this in sealed, I'm not like, oh my god, yes, but I'm like, this. It's very, very respectable, because you already, so when you Quake, if you Quake some characters, so they take the 2 damage, maybe some knockback, which also helps position them for maximum carnage. You also have Giant Reach with it, and they get action tokens, and then, depending on the knockback that happens or not, you deal extra damage to characters that you didn't even hit. So essentially, he has a threat range of 5 with charge, and then 2 for his Giant Reach. So,
and he's battle fury to ignore shape change.
This is everything Prowler wished he was.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Like, you literally had me at 50 points, and then his dial. You don't even have to add the other stuff. You add the other stuff, and it's just like tee.
That's helpful.
Okay. Constructed. Oh man, I want it. Like, I don't know how undercosted this would need to be, but like,
if it was 15 points, I would play it in constructed. Maybe.
Compared to Marvella, I don't think that's
slot?
good anymore. No. 15 points isn't good enough even. It has to be like 5. Like, you have to compare it now. You're comparing him to Brainiac. You're comparing him.
Well, he's also a prime, so like he probably needs to be even cheaper. Probably 2 points, I think, is the right play value for this piece in constructed.
No, he's generated. So he's free.
I think 30. I think 30.
Who generates Riot?
No, he's
No,
joking. I think 30 will be actually not unreasonable for this. I don't think there's, outside of this set, I don't know how many monster primes there are in Modern, or at least that matter. So
I said he's generating, and Adam literally is like looking for who generates him. He's like, I can deal with this.
Yeah, that seems awesome.
Yeah, the Ultra Chase in this set generates him.
You get to make one with Wingard then, right?
There's an Ultra Chase in this set?
For reference, Adam does not collect at all, and he only knows like what he looks up. So there could be an Ultra Chase for all he knows, but there is not.
I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna go with your full of crap.
Yes, sometimes people make jokes.
That is the correct option.
Okay, Agent Venom is one of the last uncommons. 65 points, 6 range. He's not Spider-Man family, but he's a team player. Very, very different. Actually, I don't even think there are any effects that check for that team ability anymore. Are there? Maybe not, so it could matter. Improved movement, elevated hindering. Improved targeting. He can make range attacks when adjacent to opposing characters, which can include shooting in adjacency and out of adjacency. He has a trait, one of 2 traits. At the beginning of your turn, you may roll d6. Move Agent Venom up to half the result. If it's your first turn, move him up to the result instead. Plasticity shape change for being a symbiote, and then he has a special defense power that he ends with on regular dial, and then starts with on secret identity dial. And as a reminder, this is Flash Thompson. That special defense power is super senses and toughness. This is an Adam one.
He seems fine in sealed and not great in constructed. That's about it. I'm not particularly impressed. I don't hate him.
What about as a secret identity?
I love starting with Flash and then bringing him in, because I'm running Flash right up to you, and then I get Flurry Blades.
And you're still going through shape change, right? Because you have Battle Fury instead of the trait.
The secret identity dial is good, for sure. But I don't know that I would. I think this piece is actually good enough to play, so I don't. And your theory is that we're not going to have enough points anyway, so you probably have to just play him at full, in which case he's fine. If you can afford to not have him main force, then this is one of the better secret identities.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable initial piece to play, and then he also has 2 options, right? I mean, you're probably only getting this one, but I think it's pretty reasonable. We're almost done on commons. We have Venom. Dear God. She has improved movement hindering, plasticity shape change for the symbiote trait. Another trait, when she hits after resolutions, a hit character gains immobile until your next turn, 60 points, 5 range, 2 targets. She can be secret identitied into from Mary Jane. Yeah, I don't know. Who was this? This was Devin, I think.
I assume the A hit character means that your 2 targets don't mean that you get to immobile 2 things.
It doesn't say once per turn.
It doesn't say choose a character either, so a hit character is any character that is hit.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't say hit characters.
So that's just a common templating thing. They don't always put the plural. It's just not necessary.
All right.
I'm a little surprised it doesn't say each, but
yeah,
this one could require clarification just to make it more obvious. We're still sure you can't play it at the lower dial, right? Because I think I'd rather play that for 60 points.
Yeah, I mean, fine secret identity if it's one you pull with Mary Jane. Other than that, probably not.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, if you could play that as like 30 points, whatever, that'd be pretty cool.
No, even at 60. Like, I would play the lower dial for 60 over the top dial for 60.
If she started on click 3, I'd play her for 60.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't. If she started on click 9, I would play her for 60.
Okay, Molten Man has a trait once per turn. When Molten Man makes a range attack, after resolutions, you may generate a blocking terrain marker adjacent to a target. At the beginning of your next turn, replace that blocking marker with a hindering terrain marker that remains indefinitely. Worth noting that can go on water or hindering because it doesn't have the barrier-specific restriction. Starts with a special attack power, Poison Super Strength. When Molten Man uses Poison, he deals penetrating damage and may treat characters adjacent to his hit blocking markers as if they were adjacent to him. Starts with a special defense power as well. Molten Man takes a maximum of 1 damage from attacks and can't be chosen for Mastermind, and that power is protected out with Impulse Wave. Keywords are Sinister Syndicate, Spider-Man Family, 5 range, 75 points. We go to Chad.
Sealed, yep. Anything else, nope.
Yep.
I don't Does that trait work? Can you replace a terrain marker? Does your terrain marker need to be on the sideline to do that?
You are going to be quiet now. Hey everyone, I just want to mention and apologize for the awkward end of the episode. We just didn't realize that we were going to cut it off for that particular section of the episode, or that we were splitting it up, so I just wanted to do the outro pre-recorded, although in future all the outros will be pre-recorded just for ease, and so they are not unnecessarily messed up in the phone call. So I wanted to wrap things up by mentioning that we just put up our Patreon, but hopefully a bunch of you have already joined it by this point and are listening to it early, so we appreciate your support. We appreciate all your watching on YouTube. We've started uploading there now, specifically for these because you get the visual aid. We are also going to be streaming on Twitch soon, and we appreciate any followers there. It's all these social medias and whatnot are under JSAClix. We have a Facebook group and a Facebook page, and those are probably the best ways to keep up with us at the moment. And I also just wanted to mention a couple of our team friends and affiliates. We have you've heard him by now, Devin Adams, who is Happy Little Heroclix. He has his YouTube channel and his Patreon. And I also wanted to mention Married with Clicks, and they have their YouTube channel and some other stuff. So thank you everybody for listening, and have a great rest of your day.